Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I am up for Confessions of a Paper Addict Etsy shop, and I have printed out these two cut files. And this is actually the star background, and what I did was I set it up so that it cut out the solids, and then I set it up so it cut out the background as a normal cut file. And that way, I can put these right on top of each other and I don't have to back the cut file. And the reason why I did it this way is because I'm going to make fun stuff happen here in this space. So let's see what I can do. Now I pulled out a couple sheets of black cardstock and a couple sheets of white cardstock. I want it to kind of keep the background exciting, but also not screaming and in your face. So I figured the best way to do that would be to keep it with black and white. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere these stars, this white cutout on top of the black. And then that way I have these great outline stars. It did not take any time at all. It looks like I have hand-backed a cut file, and it just worked out great. And I think that that is probably one of the biggest cheats or hacks or whatever you want to call it for cut files, is to cut it out multiple times and then you just piece them together. Like, it just works. So there we go. So I'm going to add a little bit more glue on some of the spots. I am not being like super careful to have everything super tight and glued down. I really am just hitting some spots that are kind of like floppy. So where the stars are floppy, there we go. Now there we have the background. Now originally I was going to do some, big surprise here, do some stuff with some glitter underneath of it, but I decided that I wanted to do it with something else. I wanted to try something else. So I'm trimming down this white cardstock right here because I feel like I needed a border around the layout. So instead of trimming down the cut file, I decided to trim down this paper here. Now I had this idea to take tulle and just put it across the page, and I thought that I had this like this red glittery tulle. I remember looking at it at a Hobby Lobby, but I guess I didn't actually buy it. I probably should have, because if I remember it that vividly, then, you know, and I'm thinking I already had it. So I just have the white tulle. So I'm going to go ahead and place that down on the layout. Now, I don't really know if this is the best method to go about what I did, but this is how I did it, and with how it turned out, I'm okay with it. Now you can barely see it on the video. It kind of looks like I'm just taking some washi tape and really just like slinging it around on the page, and you don't really see anything, but there really is white tulle there. So I'm covering up with washi tape. And then I'm using a lot of washi tape, you guys, but don't you worry. So the washi tape that I keep in my dispenser is washi tape that I don't mind using for the background pieces. It's just tape that I'm just like, okay, don't matter. Now, these check boxes, I just grabbed those because the washi tape that I use on the back of layouts is kept farther away from me, but I keep my washi tape right here within arm's length, so I can just grab it. So now I'm using this purple washi tape that, again, I really enjoy, and it's not one of the washi tapes that I'm using that I would normally use to tape up stuff, but like I said, lazy, didn't want to get up and go grab it. So I know that this looks like a complete and utter mess, but don't you worry. I grab a sheet of cream colored cardstock, and I'm just trimming it down a little bit to make sure that it will go on my page here. So I just take some glue and I am just squirting it all around. I don't even care. The glue is going to, once it dries, kind of get into the mesh of the tool, and it's just going to be great. So I also pull out some of this tacky glue. It is a tonic glue as well, and I pop a pin through the lid right there, and it's still giving me a little bit of a fit. So I'm just like, ugh, I give up. See, I poke it one more time, and I do it again just for good measure, and it's giving me a fit. So I'm just like, fine. I'm like, this should be good enough. So I go ahead and place that paper down, and I'm just pushing it down so it's there. And you can kind of see the tool there. So then I'm going to go ahead and put my cut file right on top of the tool. And I was thinking, how in the world am I going to get this to adhere? Because if I do it with wet glue, it'll work, but it's going to take a whole heck of a long time to dry. And I just want to make my layout. So I'm trying to look at this and figure it out. Really don't know what flipping it over to the other side was really helping me with, but there it is. So I have this down, and I'm like, well, maybe I will staple the black part and then you won't see the staples. And then I said, you know what? Forget it. You're going to see the staples. And I'm just going to make it so that it kind of looks like it's part of the design. So I go around and I'm stapling over the edges of the stars, and as far as my little tiny attacher will go. And then I'm thinking, yep, there we go. There is the layout. And like I said, it is kind of difficult to see the tool on camera. Hopefully with the still pictures at the end, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. But I do like the way that this layout turned out. Like, I really, really like the way this layout turned out. I think what makes me happiest when I use cut files is when something bold is going on with them, instead of maybe something a little bit softer. I like the bold. Even kind of the more floral and kind of whimsical kind of cut files, I really, really just like punching it up a little bit and making it bold. So I have some red papers that I'm going to be using. Not exactly sure where the one pattern paper came from. It is a 6x6 paper sheet, single-sided, so it's older. Like I said, I don't remember. I've had it forever. And then this metallic silver and red kind of glittery bit is from a Tim Holtz, like a Christmas paper pad thing. So I'm adding a bunch of adhesive to the back of these photos, and I'm just going to kind of nestle them together and cover them up. Now, the photo that is on the pattern paper is a photo that I have shared on Instagram, that if we ever had a Christmas record album cover, that is what it would be. And then the second photo is just another one, another picture that was taken. So this was on Christmas Eve, and some of the leaders in the store all got together to take a photograph. And some of this is what ensued. Now, believe me, I have a bunch more photos. Some of them are hilarious. Some of them are just really good photos. But I really liked this one because this felt like Christmas album cover, and I enjoyed it. So these are some Valentine's Day thickers that I picked up at Tuesday Morning in Phoenix. I mean, holy moly, guys. Tuesday Morning in Phoenix is so much more exciting than the Tuesday mornings that I have here. If you check out the For the Love of Homemade Kit series that a bunch of us are doing, Christina, wrong kit, not For the Love of Homemade Kits. She did it for her How to Kill a Kit with Style. She went into Tuesday Morning and spent a certain amount of money and created a great kit. And I was like, you know what? I need to do this, but see what we can do when you have a crappy Tuesday morning. So that's got to happen. Anyway, total side story there. So I went ahead and used these glitter stickers that say best day, and they really just look great on the black and white. Like, I just think that red, black, and white is such a striking combination, and I really, really like the way it looks right now. Now, these are mirror stars, and they are kind of a bold embellishment. And like I said, I feel like my cut file is like, boom, bold, there in your face. So I want my embellishments to be similar. I don't want to overwhelm my layout with embellishments because I do want, obviously, the photos are important, but for decoration, I want the cut file to kind of be like the star of the show. And my plan is to enhance it with these sequins rather than truly cover it up. So these sequins are from Spiegelmom Scraps, and these are Julymas, and so that is Christmas in July. Now I am using my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive here, and these big red sequins kind of have like a warpedness to them. So I needed to get enough wet glue down on the layout so that it would hold on. Now this is a crystal katana that I'm using. I have a crystal katana and I also have jewel pickers, and it's just kind of, how I'm feeling and which one I grab first from my little tool caddy over here. So I was feeling the crystal katana today. Now I am just adding a little bit of glue and dropping the sequins. Now I have done this technique before where I back a cut file with sequins, and I'm not really backing the cut file, I'm decorating the cut file right now. And I'm just using the Julymas mix, and there's some great reds in there, there's some golds, there's like iridescent almost clear, there's a couple little bits of green, and I am just going around my layout on the stars and trying to figure out where this stuff would look good. Now obviously I'm going to each of the mirror stars because I've got, again, like I said, I'm going bold for this layout. So everything I'm doing, I'm trying to think, is this like bold enough? So I have like the black and white is kind of a bold look. I'm going to say bold a whole bunch of times. You could probably have a drinking game with how much I'm saying bold in this voiceover. It's just like on my parking lot talks. You could probably have a drinking game with how much I say glitter glaze. So with that, so I have the bold background. Let's take a sip, shall we? Okay, I really did take a sip. Okay, so we do have that bold black and white background. And you really can't see the tool, like I said in the video, but it does give it a little bit of a pop. I have the red glitter title, which is kind of a bold title. It definitely does not blend in. And then I have the mirrored stars, and I just think that they are a bold embellishment no matter what. Even if I'm doing like soft and romantical type of pages, like that is still a bold embellishment to me. Anything really mirrored has that kind of feel to it. And then I have the sequins, and that is making it as well. I have no idea what that is. Oh, shoot. I did not cut this out. So what I'm doing right now is cutting up some papers that my son needed before he left. So let's see, this video is going up on Saturday the 15th, which is tomorrow, and he left this morning for his next station, so he is not home anymore. So that's what I was doing. I was cutting that up, cutting that off for him on my trimmer. So I do add a bunch of liquid adhesive right there, and I'm just trying to build up a little bit of fun over here. Now, this might seem weird, but when I have the glue in my right hand and I use my left hand with the jewel picker or the crystal katana, like that actually feels pretty natural to do. Using the glue in my left hand, like I've been doing these past couple sequins, really feels awkward to me. Like it just feels awkward. And then I'm like, ooh, maybe I should do another little bit up here because these stars over here are kind of looking a little bit lost. And one thing I don't want to do, which normally I don't have a problem with, I usually don't have a problem with mixing stars and hearts, but since I want the cut file as kind of like the, whoa, here is what's going on in this page. It is a big, bold, take a sip, layout here. I don't want to mix the hearts and the stars. I want it to just be stars. Like that's what I want to go for. So I think I'm going to add a couple brads, and these are going to be the Echo Park / Cartabella brads, and I'm going to use ones that have some big old rhinestones on them, and I'm going to use some that have like the little pearl parts. If you didn't want to use brads, you could pop these suckers right on out, the little pearl parts and the rhinestone, and just adhere them to the page. Or you could break off the tines of the brads and use some glue dots or something and lay them down on the page as well. But I'm okay with it. I love brads and they don't bother me. I don't mind poking them through. It just means I'm going to add some more washi tape on the back of the layout. Now I did pull out these glitter enamel dots, so I have those off to the side because I figure I'm going to add a couple of these in after I finish up with these brads. Now, as you can see, these rhinestone brads are, you got it, you guessed it, bold. They are big, and I think that is why they feel bold. They are big. They are a big brad. You couldn't just use them on any old layout, I don't think. But I do like the way that they turned out, and I do like these little clusters that I have going on with the sequins and the brads and the mirror pieces. Like I'm really, really enjoying how they look. So I do go ahead and poke that through. So now I have all of these brads sticking on the back of the layout. Now the back of the layout is already an atrocious mess. You know it and I know it. But the whole world isn't going to know it because, you know, they don't see it. Because I have this creamy vanilla cardstock on the back of it. But you definitely see the mess, and now it's all pretty. So I don't mind my layouts kind of being a mess back there, especially when they're covered with washi tape just to keep the lumpies and the bumpies off. And I'm totally okay with that. So I am going to grab a white pen right now, and I do use a Uniball Signo gel pen, and I think it is the broad point. It's kind of far away right now, or I would look it up. So I'm just going to add a line or two of journaling, and then I decide, I don't really know why, but I decide to add a couple little dots by the stars because, you know, there wasn't already enough going on in these little clusters. So there they are, you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to check out the Confessions of a Paper Addict Etsy shop. You can find the link down below, and I will see you again real soon for another video.